Scorpio, a silent storm is brewing around you. People you consider allies are about to show their true colors, and the revelation ahead will shatter some of your deepest convictions about who truly deserves your trust. I'm not talking about vague suspicions or unfounded paranoia. I'm talking about a brutal discovery that will definitively separate those who are genuinely on your side from those who are only pretending to be. You've always had this uncanny ability to see through people, to detect falsehood where others see only charm and friendliness. But there's a cruel trap to this gift. When you choose to trust, when you deliberately lower your defenses for someone, you become vulnerable in a way few understand. And it's precisely this vulnerability that some people have taken advantage of. They've learned to speak your language, to mimic loyalty, to play the role of ally while plotting against you in the shadows. The coming revelation will expose not only who these people are, but also how they managed to deceive you for so long. It will show how they used your own intense nature against you, how they weaponized your loyalty to keep you blind to their true intentions. You will discover conversations that took place behind your back, plans that were made without your knowledge, alliances that were formed specifically to work against your interests. The most painful part won't be discovering that these people are different from what you imagined. You had correct instincts about them from the start, but you chose to ignore those instincts because you wanted to believe in the loyalty they were putting on. Your internal radar set off alarms that you deliberately silenced because you were hopeful that you had finally found people worth keeping. Scorpio, small details that don't add up, stories that don't make complete sense, reactions that seem overly rehearsed. You've tried to rationalize these perceptions, but they keep coming back, insisting on being heard. These aren't coincidences, nor are they your mind creating problems where none exist. They're fragments of truth trying to reach your consciousness. The person or people who reveal their true nature won't do it out of sudden honesty. They'll do it because they've reached a point where they no longer need the mask, or because something got out of hand and forced the truth to emerge. And when that happens, you'll see not only who they really are, but also how meticulously they've planned every interaction with you. For Scorpios, born between October 23rd and November 2nd, this revelation will involve people in your professional circle or with shared ambitions. Someone you considered a partner or collaborator will show that they always saw you as competition to be eliminated. For those born between November 3rd and 12th, the mask will fall from people in your inner circle, perhaps even family, someone whose betrayal will hurt deeply because you never imagined this person capable of such deceit. And for those born between November 13th and 21st, the revelation will come through romantic situations or very close friendships, where you will discover that feelings you believed were mutual were actually one-sided or even false. But regardless of where the revelation comes from, it will bring with it a devastating lesson about the difference between true loyalty and feigned loyalty. You'll learn to distinguish between people who are there for you because they genuinely care about you and those who are there only when it serves their own interests, between those who defend you even when you're not there and those who only support you to your face. The moment of discovery will be like a flash of light illuminating a territory that was always there but which you couldn't fully see. Conversations that seemed casual but which you now realize were interrogations. Situations where you were subtly sabotaged. Moments where these people tricked you into revealing information they later used against you. Occasions where they pretended to support you while secretly working to undermine your plans. The deepest pain will come from realizing that you weren't just betrayed, you were studied. These people mapped your vulnerabilities, your emotional triggers, your deepest needs, and they used this intimate knowledge to keep you exactly where they needed you to be. Vulnerable enough not to question their motivations, but trusting enough to continue sharing valuable insights into your life. Scorpio, I need to pause here for a moment because I know that as you listen to this, you're recognizing situations in your own life, I know you're feeling that butterflies in your stomach that come when someone finally puts into words what you've been feeling but couldn't fully express. You're not crazy. You're not being paranoid. This feeling that something isn't right with certain people around you is real, and you deserve to have your perceptions validated. In the comments below, I want you to tell me, I felt like someone close to me wasn't who they pretended to be. You can copy and paste that exact sentence. You don't have to give details if you don't want to, but your courage in sharing this might be exactly what another Scorpio needs to see to trust their intuition. When you write this, you're not just releasing a burden. You're offering validation to someone who may be doubting their perceptions of fake people around them. I know how painful it is to question people you've let into your inner circle. I know how confusing it is when your intuition screams that something is wrong, but everyone around you acts like you're imagining things. You're not. And by sharing your experience, even briefly, you're helping others trust this inner wisdom that you Scorpios possess so keenly. Write in the comments, I felt like someone close to me wasn't who they pretended to be. And if you'd like to add more details about what you've noticed, please do so. This is a safe zone where your perception will be honored, not questioned. Moving on, Scorpio, the revelation that's coming won't just be about uncovering fake people. It'll also be about recognizing who remained genuine even when you were at your most vulnerable. It will show who stood up for you when you weren't there, who genuinely cared when you were struggling, who offered help without expecting anything in return, and who stood by you even when it wasn't convenient or advantageous for them. This is perhaps the most beautiful part of the revelation that is coming. Along with the pain of discovering betrayals, you will experience a deep gratitude for the people who have shown themselves to be truly loyal. People you may have taken for granted, but who have always been there, solid as rocks, even in your darkest moments. The difference between these people and the fake ones will become so clear that you will wonder how you missed it before. People genuinely by your side never had to perform loyalty. They never had to make grand declarations about how much they cared about you. They were simply there, consistently, without drama, without expectations of recognition. While fake people make a point of advertising every little favor they do for you, genuine people help without even mentioning it, as if it were the most natural thing in the world. Revelation will teach you the difference between people who are interested in you and those who are interested in what you can do for them. Between those who are genuinely happy with your successes and those who secretly hope you fail. Between those who want to be present in your life because you add value to theirs and those who only want to be there to extract value from you. Scorpio, one of the most powerful things about this discovery is that it will further refine your already keen ability to read people. You'll learn to spot subtle cues that indicate someone is acting out rather than being authentic. You'll develop an even greater sensitivity to detect hidden motives, even in those most adept at masking their true intentions. You'll learn that genuine people have a specific quality of presence. They're not constantly calculating how every word they say will affect your perception of them. They're not monitoring your reactions to adjust their performance. They simply are, without artifice, without hidden agendas. And this authenticity has an energy you can feel even when you can't quite explain what it is. On the other hand, people who are role-playing emit a slightly forced energy. There's something performative about their interactions, even when they're skilled at what they do. They may say the right words, make the appropriate gestures, but there's an artificial quality to the energy they emanate. It's subtle, but your Scorpio radar can pick it up. The revelation that's coming will validate all the times you felt this energetic difference, but wondered if you were being unfair or overly suspicious. It will confirm that your intuition was correct when something seemed off about certain people, even when you couldn't quite pinpoint it. One of the most shocking discoveries will be realizing how some people around you have been talking about you when you're not around. Not just casual gossip, but strategic conversations about how to influence you, how to keep you under control, how to extract information from you. You'll discover that there's a whole social dynamic going on behind your back that you never even suspected existed. Some people have been meeting specifically to discuss you, to plan how to deal with you, to coordinate their approaches to ensure you continue doing what they want you to do. And the most disturbing thing is that these conversations took place between people you considered close, people you trusted, people who pretended to support you to your face. Scorpio, when this truth fully emerges, you may feel temporarily shaken in your confidence about human relationships. You may question your own discernment, wondering how you let this happen, how you were deceived for so long. But this phase of questioning will pass, and what will remain is a much deeper wisdom about human nature. You'll understand that being betrayed by people you once trusted doesn't diminish your ability to form genuine relationships. In fact, it increases that ability because you'll now be even more adept at distinguishing between what's real and what's fake. You'll develop stricter criteria for who you trust, but you'll also value even more those who meet those criteria. The revelation will also reveal patterns you may have repeated in relationships. Perhaps you have a tendency to give your trust too quickly to people who initially show intense interest in you. Or perhaps you mistake emotional drama for genuine intimacy. Or perhaps you feel compelled to reciprocate interest even when your intuition tells you something isn't right. Recognizing these patterns isn't a way to blame yourself, but rather to better protect yourself in the future. You'll learn to ask better questions about people's motivations. You'll develop the habit of observing how people treat others when they think you're not paying attention. You'll pay more attention to how you feel energetically after spending time with different people, people who drain your energy, who leave you questioning your own perception, who make you feel like you have to constantly prove your worth. These people aren't genuinely there for you. People who are truly there for you make you feel more like yourself, not less. They make you feel supported, not judged. They energize you, not drain you. Scorpio, the most transformative part of this revelation will be discovering that you have far more genuine support than you realize. There are people in your life who have been quietly by your side, without making a fuss, without expecting recognition. People who genuinely root for you, who care about your well-being, who would be there if you needed them, without making it a favor you owe them in return. Some of these people may be the ones you least expect. They may be people you consider just casual acquaintances, but who actually genuinely care about you. They may be people you haven't seen in a while, but who still care about what's going on in your life. They may even be people you underestimated, who you thought were too superficial to form real connections. The revelation will completely reorganize your social map. It will show you that some of the people you once placed at the center of your life should be on the periphery, while some who were on the periphery deserve a much closer place. It will give you a clear vision of who is truly worth investing your emotional energy, your time, and your vulnerability in. And when you start investing more energy in the people who truly deserve it, you'll experience a kind of relationship you may never have experienced before. Relationships based on true reciprocity, where you don't have to guess at hidden motives, where you can be vulnerable without fear of that vulnerability being used against you, where you can trust that the person is being honest about their feelings and intentions. These authentic relationships will show you how much energy you've wasted trying to maintain connections that were never genuine. They'll make you realize how much effort you've invested in people who never reciprocate, how much time you've spent trying to decipher the motivations of people who were deliberately deceiving you. When you emerge from this revelation and reorganization, you'll find you have more time and energy to invest in the things that truly matter. You'll feel lighter because you'll no longer be carrying the weight of one-sided relationships. You'll feel more secure because you'll know exactly who you can count on when you need it. The revelation that's coming isn't just about uncovering betrayals. It's about discovering your own strength, about realizing that you can survive the pain of betrayal and come out even wiser on the other side. About recognizing that your ability to love deeply isn't a weakness, even when it's unrequited. About understanding that you deserve relationships that honor your loyalty rather than exploit it. Scorpio, when all is revealed, you'll look back and see that this experience, however painful, was essential to your evolution. You'll realize that you needed to discover who the fake people are to fully appreciate the real ones. You needed to experience betrayal to develop even sharper discernment. You needed to go through this social cleansing to make room for relationships that truly nourish you. The people who will remain by your side after this revelation will be a smaller but infinitely more valuable circle. They will be people you can count on not only in good times, but especially in difficult times. People who know you in all your facets and choose to be there anyway. People who have no hidden agendas, just genuine affection. And you'll discover that you'd much rather have a few genuine people than a lot of fake ones, that the quality of your connections matters far more than the quantity, that it's better to be alone than to be poorly accompanied by people who pretend to care while secretly working against your interests. Revelation will also free you from the obligation to maintain relationships that no longer serve you. It will give you permission to cut ties with people who have proven themselves untrue, guilt-free, and without the need for lengthy explanations. You will learn that you owe nothing to people who betrayed you, except the lesson of never allowing them to do it again. When you begin to operate from this new clarity about relationships, you will naturally attract more authentic people into your life. Your energy will shift. You will emanate a different confidence, a wisdom that only comes from having been through fire and emerged stronger. And genuine people recognize and are drawn to this authenticity. Scorpio, in the coming days and weeks, as this revelation unfolds, be patient with yourself. Allow yourself to feel the pain of discovery without trying to minimize or rationalize it. Allow yourself to be angry with people who turned out to be false. Allow yourself to feel gratitude for those who turned out to be true. And most importantly, allow yourself to trust your intuition about people, even when it tells you things you'd rather not hear. The revelation that changes everything isn't just about others. It's about discovering that you're stronger, wiser, and more deserving of genuine love than you ever imagined. It's about realizing that your intensity and your ability to see through people aren't flaws to be softened, but superpowers to be honored and developed further. If this message touched something deep within you, if you recognize situations or people in your own life, don't ignore that recognition. Comment, "I felt like someone close to me isn't who they pretend to be," to validate your own perception and help others trust theirs. Share any additional insights you've gained. Your experience may be the key. Another Scorpio needs to trust their intuition. Subscribe to the channel because after this revelation, you'll need guidance on how to navigate your new social reality, how to process the pain of betrayal without closing yourself off to genuine connections, how to further develop your discernment about people, how to attract and maintain relationships based on mutual authenticity. Turn on notifications so you don't miss guidance that can support you through this profound transformation. The revelation is coming. The mask is about to fall. And when it does, you'll discover not only who's truly on your side, but also how powerful your own ability is to survive the truth and emerge even stronger and wiser on the other side. What you discover about the people around you will hurt, but what you discover about yourself will transform you forever.